All right, so first and foremost, I'd like to introduce myself. So I am Dineo, I'm coming from Youth at Work. I will be your host for today. I also have Gosinati coming from Youth at Work, who also do a bit of introduction. And just to get to see who are people attending and really get a warm welcome from everyone else. And then we will then welcome our guest speaker, and then we will proceed with our session for today, all right? Gosi, would you like to jump in?
Sure, thank you very much, Dino. Welcome to everyone to this session. My name is Bosnachin Debere. I'm the head of IT at Youth at Work, and we're very excited today to have our guest speaker speaking to us about a very exciting new technology. And I hope you guys will enjoy it. Please stay engaged, and as my colleague has said, please, if you have any questions, you can throw them in the chat. Let's keep everyone's mic muted and let our speaker speak to us and let us know about this amazing new technology. But thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And we can go ahead and now introduce our speaker. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Gosi, for that welcome. All right, so if you can start off, perhaps, guys, you know the drill, just let us know on the chats where are you guys coming from, all right? So please do let us know your location, as well as your host site, so that I know how many people are attending. I know there's people joining from all provinces, youth placed in all 9 provinces. So please do write in the chats, guys. Please do write in the chat so that we know how many people are attending. All right, I see some people have already started off. Thank you so much. Okay, we see you, Charity from Mpumalanga. I also see coming from Johannesburg and some youth coming from KZN Durban. And then there's also a comment from Spiwe coming from Wheatbank in Mpumalanga. All right, thank you so much for joining, Spiwe. There's another comment coming from Dean in Cape Town. There's Homoto coming from Weird Foundation in Phosphorus. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. And then there's another one, Kensani is coming from Rustenburg. Okay, that's really nice to know. And then there's Tsikhofatso from Johannesburg. And then David coming from Limpopo. You're welcome, David. Thanks for joining. Noma Slubi coming from East London. Naledi from Captain Park. Okay, there's also Musuwana coming from Etwatwa. All right, so it's nice to see people coming from all different locations. We also have Kuma coming from Cape Town also. Njabulo, KZN, Gabetwi, Free State. Okay, you're welcome, Gabetwi. Tamsanga coming from Pretoria in Atteridgeville. Mokhoba from Limpopo, hi. And then there's also Vanessa coming from Gauteng. Okay, there's quite a lot of you. I might not have to get to call out everyone who just typed on the chats. Okay, Andile from Pretoria, I see you. There's also a comment from Dombi coming from Soweto. All right, you're welcome. Adrian from the Western Cape, thank you so much for joining from that side. And then we have Gojiswa from Eastern Cape. All right, thank you so much for also joining. All right, so I'll just start off, and I would like to welcome our amazing speaker. All right, so today we are introducing you what we call Chat GPT. All right, so we know how artificial intelligence is changing our daily lives. So today it's all about learning what Chat GPT is, and really how we can really imply that in our daily lives, how that can benefit us on a daily basis. All right, so we have our amazing guest speaker, which is Bilal Kathrada. He is the CEO and founder of IT Varsity. So just to tell you a bit about the background of Bilal, all right? So Bilal is an entrepreneur, is also a multi-award-winning app developer. He's and tech innovator. He's also a speaker. He's also a mentor. All right, so some of you might be familiar with Bilal. We did have him on our last year's session or the Think Tank Thursday session. So it's really, really a pleasure and an honor to have Bilal coming also again to really give us the skills and motivation so that we can keep you as the youth really motivated and really succeed. All right. So I'd like to welcome Bilal. Hi, Bilal.
Hi, Dineo. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you. Over to you, Bilal.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you for the opportunity to speak to these amazing people. I always enjoy working with youth at work, and to see so many people here present. It's remarkable that you got the power to bring so many people. I think the last time I checked, it was 227 participants. Well done. And to all of you youth who are at work around the country, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're happy and healthy and you are thriving. And I hope you're climbing the ranks and taking our country and its economy to a different level. So once again, thank you so much, guys, for this opportunity to speak to you about my passion. And my passion, as everybody knows, is technology, but only technology as it will benefit us, as it will transform lives of people around the world, especially in our country and on this continent. Now, just to give you a historic perspective, but before I get there, I want a show of hands. How many of you are on TikTok? How many of you are on TikTok? Whether you post or whether you just troll. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of you. Okay, that number is just going up and up and up. Fantastic. So I've put in the chat my TikTok handle. It's at Bilal Kads. So if you go to TikTok, you will see my account there on at Bilal Kads, BILALKATZ. I don't know if you can see my screen right now. That's my TikTok right there, at Bilal Kads. Fantastic. So many of you are on TikTok. All right. Now let's get to the topic on hand. The topic for today, as you guys are well aware, is ChatGPT. So now I want a second show of hands. I know the hands are still flying up for the TikTok thing, but the second question is, how many of you guys actually used ChatGPT? Fantastic. Okay, so let's get started. Let me talk about ChatGPT now and update you guys on what's going on in the world of ChatGPT. Now, for those of you who are not aware, last year around November, the company OpenAI released the third version of a chatbot that they created. And they called it ChatGPT, as you can see on the screen, GPT. Now, we are all aware of what chats are. You go on WhatsApp, you open your WhatsApp, you start talking to somebody. That's a chat. You type in some text in the box, you hit send, and it goes. And chatbots are actually computer programs that you chat to that can understand what you are saying and give you a response. Now, for those of you that have been on some company websites and you've made inquiries about certain services or products they offer, you'll notice a lot of websites have a section at the bottom of the screen that has a little chat there. You type in, hello, my name is Bilal. I want to inquire about XYZ products. You would have noticed that those chats seem to have very stupid people behind the scenes, people with very basic understanding of language. Whatever question you ask them, they give you the same answer. Whatever question you ask, they give you the same answer. Now, the fortunate part is these are not human beings. Many of them are just computer programs using a very basic, rudimentary artificial intelligence that understands just a few words here. It picks up keywords. So if you are selling sneakers in your store, and among the sneakers, you are selling Adidas, for example, it will pick up just a word like Adidas, running, off-road, for example, and then it will just use that like search keywords, and it will bring everything that you are looking for. So those are very basic, rudimentary chatbots. But last year, OpenAI, the company OpenAI, released ChatGPT, which is also a chatbot, but it's like no other chatbot you've ever seen in your life, because this one is built using the specific GPT technology. Now, what is the difference between this chatbot and the older chatbots? The answer is very, very simple. It uses a very, very advanced artificial intelligence algorithm known as GPT. The letters GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. What does this mean? It means that this chatbot is able to firstly understand human language. It's able to understand what we say, what we talk. Now, remember, when we talk as human beings, we don't just listen to each other's words. We listen to whole sentences, and the sentences are what makes sense to us, not just each word. The words are not important as the sentences are. Let me give you an example. If I said that if I came to your store, let's say you are working in a toy store, and I came in there and I said, I want to buy for my son a toy Lego truck. Okay. Now let's take each word in that sentence. There's I, there's son, and there's toy, there's Lego, and there's truck. Now, if you were a person that just focuses on one word, and let's say you focused on the last word, truck, you'd say, this is not a truck shop. There are truck shops in Pinetown where you can go and buy a truck, but this is a toy shop. We only sell toys. Now, but then putting everything together as a phrase, a toy, Lego, truck, the three words together describe what I want. One word alone cannot. So the three words need to be put together as a phrase to understand what I'm trying to say. When you put those three words together, you understand this man is looking for a toy, Lego, truck. Right. Now, this is how human language works. And sometimes words need to cluster together to give meaning. And sometimes words mean different things in different contexts. Let me give you another example. If it's a very hot day and you and I are sitting outside in the park and it's very hot where we are sitting and I'm coughing and I say to you, bring water. Now, immediately you understand what? That this man is thirsty, he's parched, he's coughing, bring him water. So you'll go to the tuck shop and maybe bring me a bottle of water, a cool bottle of water, which I'll drink and I'll be satisfied. Or let's say we are sitting there and suddenly you see I've got a bag there and that bag is on fire. And I say, bring water. Now, what are you going to do? Take a cool walk to the tuck shop and bring me water to drink, or you're going to bring a bucket of water. Now you know it's either a hose pipe or a bucket because there's a fire. Same sentence, Same words, different meaning, different requirements. And sometimes we might even say words that don't mean what we say at all. Let me give you an example. We're sitting there in the park, you and I, spending a lot of time sitting in a park, right? And a man walks past and you know this guy. And you say to me, there goes a lion. All right. What does that mean? Does it mean he's an animal? Does it mean he's a part of the cat family? That he's a hunter? No, it means he's a brave person. Somebody you know, you admire for their bravery. So see what I did? I gave you an English lesson now. I might be reminding you of your school days, using metaphors and using contextual clues to understand what we are trying to say. But there's a reason why I'm telling you all this. And the reason is this, that previously artificial intelligence that were trying to understand what we were saying used to focus on words, individual words. But today's technology, especially the Generative Pre-trained Transformer, the GPT technology, that doesn't focus on words. It focuses on phrases, and it focuses on context, and it focuses on metaphors. It is able to do all that because it is pre-trained. It has been pre-trained by human beings, and now it understands our language much better than previous artificial intelligence. Right. And now, not only is that thing able to understand what we are saying, it's able to give us a response. It's able to respond to us like a human. It's able to express itself. Because once you know how to understand language, it becomes much easier to express that language. And so it expresses the language using the same techniques that it used to understand the language. So now, when you look at ChatGPT, what does it do? What's so amazing about it? Right. Now, ChatGPT is a chatbot. And if you haven't used it yet, I'm going to put the link into the chat here. It's chat.openai.com. For those of you who want to use it, I've put the link into the chat. Remember, it's not an app. It's not an app that you download on your phone. It's not on your app stores. It's a website you go to, and you register with only your email address. It will not ask you for your phone number, and it will never ask you to pay. It's a free service. A lot of people have gotten caught because they didn't listen to the instructions, and the instruction was go to chat.openai.com. That's where it lives. It does not live on the App Store. Right. So what does it do? Now, ChatGPT is a type of AI chatbot that is able to understand human language exceptionally well. But not only that, it's also able to give you answers. And the answers that it gives are so accurate. They are so knowledgeable that you would think that a human being is answering this question, and not just any ordinary human being, but a very, very skilled and expert human being is answering those questions. It is uncanny, people. It is amazing. It's mind-boggling how good ChatGPT is and how much of knowledge it got. In fact, it was put through a medical exam in America, and it passed that medical exam. That's how clever ChatGPT is. Now, I decided to give it a test some time back, and I asked it some difficult questions. The first question I asked it was to give me a marketing plan for my company, right? My company is IT Varsity, as you guys are aware, as you can see the logo. So I asked it for I said my business does online courses. We do online qualifications in technology. Give me a marketing plan. Within seconds, it gave me a detailed marketing plan. Then I asked it, okay, we want to post on social media. on a daily basis. What should we be posting? What kind of content should we be posting? Give me a posting plan, a content posting schedule. And lo and behold, it gave me a complete posting schedule. And then my wife and I decided to have some fun with it. I said to it, my wife is unhappy with me. What can I do? And within seconds, it gave me detailed examples, give detailed information on how to make my wife happy again. It was uncanny. It was like a psychologist, like you're sitting with a therapist and the therapist is giving you instructions, it's giving you advice. And so I decided, okay, this is amazing, but what about things like code, like computer code? For those of you that don't know, I'm a software developer by profession, and I write code. I used to write code for a living. Now I teach code for a living. So we said, we put in an instruction, we said, write a JavaScript program to count from 1 to 10. For those of you who don't know, JavaScript is a programming language. And it wrote the code. It wrote computer code. Here's a computer that can write computer code. And if you put in your own code that you type, and that code has an error, it'll tell you, go to line 6. There's an error in line 6. This is a machine that's telling you there's an error with your code. A machine that can write computer code. Now, isn't that amazing? So now that raises all kinds of questions about ChatGPT. If it is so good, if it can answer just about any question, what happens to A, jobs where people are required to provide information? What happens to jobs where experts are normally asked for advice? What happens to jobs where people have to write for a living? Because ChatGPT can write. You can ask it, listen to me very carefully. And I want you to go try this out. You can ask it any question and it'll give you an answer, right? We already established that. Let's say I asked it a question on science. Let's say I asked it to tell me about Einstein's theory of relativity, E equals mc squared. It will give me a detailed answer. But if I said, okay, give me this answer as if I'm a 7-year-old child, give it to me on the level of a 7-year-old child, and it will do that. If I said, give me the answer as a poem, like a Shakespearean poem, as if Shakespeare is writing this, it will give me a Shakespearean poem. So now, if this thing has so much of knowledge and it can present that knowledge in so many different ways, as a poem, as a 7-year-old child, as an expert, maybe as a business person, can you imagine how amazing this technology is? Dineo, I see people are saying in the chat that they can't hear me. There's a person called Safia Bergstedt who says she can't hear me. Perhaps you want to give her some assistance. Can the rest of you hear me? Can I get just one thumbs up to say you guys can hear me? Okay, thank you. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Terrific. Thank you so much, guys.
Yes, I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Thank you. So now we've got this amazing technology that immediately we can see can do the job of so many different people. Instead of going to a lawyer, you can go and ask ChatGPT legal questions. Instead of going to a marketing expert, you can go and ask it to help you with your marketing. Instead of going to a doctor, you can go and ask it medical type questions. This is the power of this technology. So now the question arises, what's going to happen to jobs? What's going to happen to human beings when the technology has gone so intelligent? It passed a medical exam. What's going to happen to doctors? If you put it through a legal exam, it will pass. What's going to happen to lawyers? These are big questions. And then, as you can see on the slide, ChatGPT is going up against Google. What's going to happen to search engines? Now, let's take a search engine like Google, and Google is a good search engine, right? It's the king of the hill. It's the top search engine. But Google has problems. Google is not perfect, because if you go and you do a search on Google and you said, give me a detailed marketing plan for a software training institute, what will Google do? You know it. Google will return results. It will just give you millions of results. Oh, now it's your job to go and start scanning through the results and seeing what works for you. What information works for you. So that's the one thing. The second thing about Google is that Google is gone polluted now. Whereas in the old days, you used to get good results because there were fewer websites. Today, there's a whole lot of trash on Google. A whole lot of trash. People with nonsensical websites. And because of search engine optimization, those sites are coming out on top. And the good knowledge, the good information is being pushed down, down, down. So your first few search results on Google might just turn out to be absolute nonsense. You have to really dig deep to find that information. So those are two problems with search engines like Google. But yet when you go and ask ChatGPT, what is ChatGPT doing? ChatGPT is going into its database. It's going through that database, finding the best answer possible, and it's giving you that best answer. And it's giving you a few paragraphs, that's it. Or as short or as long as an answer as you want. You don't have to spend hours searching through search results. You don't have to take that information now and go and write an article, because ChatGPT is going to write that article for you. Now, if you compare ChatGPT with Google, you can see there's a very big difference here. ChatGPT is giving you the essence of the answer. And if you want some external links also, some references, it will give you that also. But Google will just throw you with millions of results. It's like this. It's as if you come and ask me a question and I throw an entire library at you. I said, right, go to Durban Library and you'll find the answers there. Go to Johannesburg City Library, you'll find your answer. Of course, the answer is there. But what if you want the answer now? What if you want it simplified so you can understand it? Google is not going to do that for you. Google never did do that for you. But ChatGPT will do that for you. And then if you are a writer and you don't know what to write about today, you can go to ChatGPT and say, I don't feel like writing today. And ChatGPT will ask you, okay, or not, I don't feel like, it's like, I need to write, but I don't know what to write about today. So ChatGPT will ask, what topics do you normally write about? I say, well, I write about technology. What's the space in technology? Do you like writing about software development, artificial intelligence, robotics? What do you like writing about? And so it'll ask you lots of questions until it reaches an answer for you. And not only will it give you suggestions, it will write the article for you. So that is the power of ChatGPT. Now the question is, what's going to happen to search engines? Firstly, what's going to happen to jobs? And what's going to happen to search engines? So let's answer the second question first, because that's the easier question to answer. I won't take too much more of your time. So the second question, what will happen to search engines? It's this. They will adopt technology like ChatGPT. Now, Microsoft has already done this with their search engine called Bing. Guys, if you don't mind, please mute yourself. And somebody is scribbling on the screen. If you guys don't mind, stop doing that. Thank you so much. Dineo, please ensure everyone is muted. It's a bit distracting. Right. So Microsoft has been at the lead. They incorporated ChatGPT technology into their Bing search engine. And now immediately Bing is better than Google. Not bigger, not more popular, just better. So Google decided, well, we can't get left behind. So they came out with their own tech, and it's called Bard, B-A-R-D. And Bard is similar to ChatGPT, and it's on Google now. So you can accept the answer from Bard, or you can do the search, whichever you want. Or if you get an answer from Bard and you want more details, then you can go to the search engines. Right. So the search engines of the future are going to be a lot more useful, a lot more direct, and a lot more capable. But now let's come back to jobs. How will technology like this affect our jobs? The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is actually a very complicated one. It's not a simple answer. So there's two parts of this. People ask me often in every talk I do, in every lecture I do, will this technology take jobs away? Short answer, yes. It will take lots of jobs away. I mean, writing jobs, many writing jobs will go away. In time, this technology will be so clever and it will be able to actually speak like a human being. And you will call a call center. I think somebody else wants to take over and do this presentation. Dineo, somebody's screaming into their mics. It was actually quite painful.
Masasi, can you please mute your mic, please? It's very, very disruptive. I'm unmuting you, you are unmuting yourself. Please, let's all obey to the rules so that we can all listen, please.
Thank you so much. Where was I? Yes, we were talking about jobs. So when it comes to jobs like writing, a lot of writing jobs are going to be lost to this technology. Yes, and then we went to call centers. In the near future, you will pick up your phone, you'll call a call center for some help, and this very friendly person will answer, and you'll be upset and angry, and you say, I don't like the service you guys are giving us. This is terrible, blah, blah. And this person will be so calm, and they'll be listening, and they'll be giving you beautiful advice and beautiful support, and you'll exit that meeting a much happier person, all the time not knowing that you were talking to an artificial intelligence all along. In its language, in its speech, in its ability to understand you, it will be very human-like. So that's going to be going to AI. But I'm not saying all jobs will go to AI. It's like somebody just put into the chat, you can't replace programmers. And I agree with that. You can't replace human beings. Technology will not replace human beings. Technology will enhance our jobs. So as much as ChatGPT can give you medical answers, you'll still have to go to a doctor for treatment, but this technology will enhance the job of a doctor. It will help the doctor. Now, let's take a real emergency medical example, right? And I'll tell you how this technology is going to not just enhance people's jobs, but it will save lives. Let's say there's an accident and you are the first person on the scene. You're not a paramedic, you're not a doctor. All you have is a little first aid kit in your car. right? Now, you see there are people injured there. You have no idea what to do, right? You pull out your phone, you'll talk to ChatGPT. You'll say, ChatGPT, this is the situation I'm facing. Now, that thing is going to ask you questions. Look at the person. Are they injured? Are they bleeding? Does it feel their limbs? Is it broken? Etc. etc. And what it will do is that it will guide you through giving that person first aid until the ambulance arrives. Obviously, the first thing it's going to tell you is call the ambulance, right? Until the ambulance arrives, it'll give you instructions to keep that person calm and alive. And even when the paramedics come, I imagine in the future, the paramedics will be hooked into a technology like ChatGPT, and they will be talking to it. They will have cameras on their glasses, and the cameras will be they will be taking pictures of the victims, and the ChatGPT will be scanning those, and it will say, it looks like this person has a fracture on this limb here, do this, put a splint and wrap this thing, this limb up safely, be careful how you do it, etc. So humans tend to become panicked. They tend to become excited in certain circumstances, like when you are experiencing something like an accident. But the AI will calmly give you instructions. So that's the one way. Then when you look at the legal space, now in the legal space, what's going to happen is that lawyers will have to do much less research, much less going through books, and they'll be able to spend a lot more time with their clients, and they will be able to assist their clients more. So what's happening here? Can you see the common theme here? The common theme is this, that humans will start to become more human. We will start to become so human that we will start focusing more on what it's like to be a human being. And our work will become more human-facing. Our work will become providing the human touch to each other. It's the same with the doctor. It's the same with the lawyer. Teachers of the future are not going to be teachers. They are going to be guides. They are going to be mentors. They are going to help you overcome personal learning challenges, and then they will help you to succeed. So in every field, pretty much you can imagine, what we are going to see is a resurgence of going back to the old days when we interacted with human beings. Now, will technology replace all of these? Absolutely not. You don't want to go to a doctor that's a robot, or you don't want to send your child to a school teacher who's a robot. You want that human touch. As human beings, we need the human touch. There's no doubt about that. So there's going to be a lot more of that. You write, Ivor Dean says, it makes everything too easy. You won't be able to learn. We will be able to learn, but we will be forced to learn things that are more important to learn and less of the things that are less important, right? So what's more important? And this is what I call the 5 C's. The 5 C's is what is the most important thing for us to learn. And I always mention this. Firstly, critical thinking. As human beings, we have the ability to think critically. And that is one of the things that will always remain with us as human beings. No robot can tell you how you feel about something, whether you like something or you don't like something, whether you like a type of food or you don't like a type of food, whether you like a service from a business or not. That is you. That's critical thinking. That is your own opinion. We need to enhance that. Unfortunately, by the way, these 5 C's are not taught at schools. So those of you that are here and those of you who are activists, make sure this happens at school, that your schools are aware of this. So first, critical thinking. Next, creativity. See, creative work is always going to be human work. People are going to use technology to write music. They're going to use technology to compile songs and orchestras and things. But there's nothing like an orchestra written by a human being. There's nothing like a work of art that's hand-drawn with all of its flaws, with all of its inconsistencies. That will always be a human thing. Thirdly, critical problem solving. What in your space, in your work, you will always be the problem solver. You won't be able to, technology won't be able to solve problems. So people in leadership positions, in problem solving positions, you are secure. You will always have your job, but you will use artificial intelligence to help you with your decision making. Right, so I gave you three. First one, critical thinking. Second one, creativity. Third one, complex problem solving. The fourth one, communication. You see, we as human beings, we are always worried about computers. But do you realize our biggest problem on Earth is that we can't communicate with our own species? Look at the number of fights and the number of wars that happen, the number of disagreements, lawsuits, father and kid, child, mother and child, couples can't keep it together. And most of the problems come from the fact that we are unable to communicate with one another. So communication skills are going to be very, very important going forward, right? And that is, those are the C's. Did I say 5 C's or 4 C's? Critical thinking, creativity, complex problem solving, and communication. That's 4 C's, right? So those are the 4 C's. Now, you need to ask yourself, we all need to ask ourselves, were we taught these at school? To an extent, but we're going to need to focus on these more, because all the activities that relate to human beings in the future, all the most important high-paying jobs of the future are going to revolve around these 4 C's. And with those few words, I'm going to conclude, and I'm going to take your questions. So I saw that there were lots of questions. I mean, there were lots of hands up. So if you guys have any questions, please fire away. And I will, in the meantime, I will go through the chat and see if there are any other questions. So you guys can either raise your hand and ask your questions on the mic, or you can ask a question in the chat. To conclude, I just want to talk around this final slide here. Can ChatGPT think and operate with human sensibilities? Not even close. Not even close, right? No matter how efficient and how intelligent artificial intelligence gets, remember, it's just a machine devoid of emotions, devoid of an understanding on how emotions works, and that will always be a human thing. Okay, let's go into those questions. I love questions. So how long did it take to build ChatGPT? Okay, ChatGPT 3, that's the one that made all the headlines last year, took about, if I'm not mistaken, about 3 to 4 years. Now, remember, there's 2 things relating to building AI. AI itself is very easy to build. It's just computer algorithms. But what takes long is training that AI. That's the most difficult part. It's like a child. It's like you are training a child from the ground up. So putting in all that technology, asking it questions, making sure that the questions are understood and the answers given are correct, this took a lot of time. So that probably took most of the time. Okay. When you introduce the program, will it take jobs, or will it simply simplify their lives? Nslansla from Lodge Consulting in Rivonia. Nslansla, let's not sugarcoat it. AI is going to take some jobs away, but it's also going to create other opportunities. So it will enhance certain work. For example, agriculture. AI is completely transforming agriculture. Small farmers in North Africa, for example, coffee farmers. Now, for those of you who are coffee fanatics like myself, you know that countries like Somalia, Ethiopia, Tanzania, these are all big on coffee, right? So these coffee plantations are run by small farmers, not by massive, giant industrial scale farms that we see around here. These are small farmers, one man and his wife and his children, and they probably got a couple of hectares. Now, it's extremely important for these farmers to ensure optimal productivity, because if they make a mistake, it could cost them their livelihoods for a whole year, right? So now, these small farmers are working with IBM and other tech companies to optimize productivity on their farms. And this is how they're doing it. It is absolute genius how they are doing this. These companies are giving these farmers sensors to put into the soil. So the entire farm has sensors in the soil. Now, those sensors are able to tell the farmer exactly what is the state of the soil. It draws a map of the entire farm on a square centimeter basis, exactly where the soil is dry, where the soil is moist, where the soil needs more nutrients, where the soil is lacking certain nutrients. And what the farmer will do is, instead of putting nutrients on the entire farm, even where it's not needed, or putting water in the entire farm, even where it's not needed, they are able to put in nutrients only where it's required. And then it goes further. What this AI does is it drives through the farm every day. And as it does that, it scans the farm. It scans every plant. So the farmer's got these tiny little shoots that he's planted. This AI scans that thing on a daily basis. And it keeps a database record of each plant. This plant at position 1.1 on the farm, this was its health on the 3rd of March. On the 4th of March, it had grown so much. This is its condition. The leaves look free of all kinds of diseases. So you see what's happening here. This AI is running the entire farm for these farmers and optimizing productivity, optimizing production on that farm, and making sure the farmer gets the best crops that he's possibly able to get. And he's getting excellent coffee, and we get to drink that delicious coffee. So now we need to think, each and every one of us, how this technology can enhance our work where we are. I, as a person running an institute, it's going to enhance my life considerably, because we are already planning to bring in ChatGPT-like technology into IT Varsity for my students. So when a student is working at 8 o'clock in the night or 10 o'clock in the night, and she has a question, she can go to our learning management system, ask a question, get an expert answer, and answer better than even I can give. And that answer will be coming from ChatGPT. See what I mean? So no matter which field you are in, this is enhancing your field. Okay, let's see. I see there's a hand up. Lindelani, let's get a question from you, sir. Oh, I see you've already asked a question.
Oh, yes. Greetings, Mr. Bilal. I sent it in the chat thinking you would read it there, but I can repeat it here if you prefer.
Go for it. Repeat it here. Save me the trouble of reading it.
All right. Yeah. So first of all, greetings, Mr. Bilal. Thank you for the wonderful presentation on ChatGPT. I think it's quite a breakthrough. So my question is, how long do you think it will be before ChatGPT/AI is common in the workplace? And do you think South Africa in specific will solve our high data prices to make the internet and its resources more accessible?
Good questions, Lindelani. First and foremost, ChatGPT is not coming. ChatGPT is here. ChatGPT is already accessible to everyone. And now that Microsoft has embraced it. They've put it into the Bing browser, and they've also put it into Microsoft Teams. So you are, I think in the next couple of weeks, you will be able to do a Teams meeting. And at the end of the meeting, that technology will give you a summary of your meeting, believe it or not, with all the notes, with action points. So for example, if Lindelani and I, if you and I are in the meeting and we both agreed, Lindelani, I think you should reach out to person A, B, and C, while I, on the other hand, I'll reach out to person D, E, F. This technology will create action points for Lindelani and for Bilal. So that tech is here already, and people are using it all over the world. And I'll give you guys some tips on how you can use it also for some productivity. But let me get to your second question, or the second part of your question. Data prices. I don't think AI tech is going to help reduce data prices. If anything, this technology is becoming so much more useful. We're going to need to spend more time on the internet, and it's going to cost us more. I think we need to petition government and the cellular service providers to drop data prices. That's the only way we're going to get there. I mean, I was reading about Mauritius. I'm actually going next week for some business there, and they've got some of the cheapest data prices on the continent, although they are not strictly Africa, but they kind of counted as Africa. Their data prices are cheaper than most African countries. If they can do it, come on, they are a dot in the middle of the ocean, just a dot, and we've got all the infrastructure. Why can't we do better? So I think it's just we need to we need that kind of assistance. Now, okay, how can this help you? Let me give you guys some tips here, right? I want to give you guys some suggestions, and this applies to you no matter who you are, no matter what your job is, no matter what your profession is. You ready? I want to give you some tips. Right. There is a thing called the creator economy that's happening right now. The creator economy is a global movement of content creators, online content creators, who are going out there onto social media, and they're creating all kinds of content, articles, videos, audio, music, movies, you name it, and they are putting this out there, and they are making money. How do they make money? We'll come back to that. But that creator economy currently is worth $20 billion US. And by the end of the year, Forbes magazine predicts that it will be worth $100 billion, $100 billion industry. Now, that's one. Second, they did a study to see who are the people creating content and how much of money they are making. And here's what they found. There are 2 million people, 2 million creators on YouTube alone, 2 million on YouTube alone, who are making 6 figures, of course, in US dollars. 6 figures a year in US currency. Now let's take the bottom of the 6 figures, $100,000, right? Let's say you are one of those creators and you are making $100,000 a year. Now, let me tell you, if I was earning $100,000 a year, I would be very comfortable. I could live very comfortably, and so could you, because if you look at the exchange rate, that's 1.7 million per annum. 1.7 million per annum. That's what like 1.8 million is 150,000 rands a month. You mean there's people earning that kind of money, creating content just through that content, and many of them make a lot more money that way, and many of them are in full-time jobs, just like us. Just like us. They work in their factories and their stores and their wholesales and their offices, but they come home and they make this content. And they are using technology like ChatGPT. This is where the penny drops. They are using technology like ChatGPT to help them to prepare that content. So the guy that's going and talking about technology, he's going on ChatGPT and asking it to write his script for him. Then he goes on to his YouTube channel and he talks what he learned from ChatGPT. Now, I'm a content creator myself, although I don't monetize on it. I don't make money from it directly. If you go on TikTok, you see I've got what, like 30,000 followers on TikTok. I've got, I don't know how many thousand on Facebook and on LinkedIn. But the thing is that I'm doing it and I can tell you it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Each one of you can do it and you don't have to leave your jobs. You have an expertise that you've built up all over all these years. Now somebody needs to draw from that. Go for it. Go and do it. Teach somebody, entertain someone, be funny, do whatever you want. But remember, this is a huge economy. So that is how you do it. Any other questions? Next question. I gave you guys a very, very good business idea here, right? When you're successful, make sure you give me shares. Okay, Dean has a question here. The Internet of Things. Mota Biseni, I'll come back to you now. Give me a second. I just want to read Dean's comment. The Internet of Things describes physical objects with sensors, processing ability, software, and other technologies that connect and exchange data with other devices and systems over the Internet or communications network. Is there a question there? Oh, the question, ChatGPT working hand in hand with IoT. Not at the moment, but very soon, right? I mean, when you look at autonomous vehicles, all those sensors that are built into these vehicles are sending the information to where? To an AI. The AI receives the sensor data, and the AI is the brain. It receives the data from the sensors and it makes decisions. Just like you have sensors here, you have your eyes and you're driving. A kid runs on the road, eyes pick up the kid, sends information to brain, brain sends information to leg, leg sends information to brakes, hit the brakes. That's how AI, not specifically ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is a chat, right? It's not a general purpose AI. Right, Motabiseni, let's go.
Okay, so you gave us 4 C's and I'm patiently waiting for the 5th one.
The 5th one, the 5th C. There is there is a 5th C. Give me a second, right? While you guys are asking me the next question, Dineo, if you don't mind reading the next question to me while I am looking for the 5th C. I know there's a 5th C. I'm a bit weak to my own.
Okay, I think there's also another question from Sandile saying, will ChatGPT have a subscription fee or will it be free like the normal Google search engine?
So it's going to be free always. There was a concern that they're going to start charging for it, but since Microsoft put it into their Bing browser, it's completely free. And Google's Bard also. Bard is quite good. People gave it, you know, they were a bit hard on it and they gave it some really bad reviews, but don't listen to all that. It's really quite good. It's free. It's out there. Go ahead and use it.
Okay, another question is it only in English or can you also get information in other languages?
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Yes, you can.
Sure. Okay, thanks. There we go. Okay, so the 5 C's. Let's go through those 5 C's again. I'm going to show you guys a slide, and here's the mysterious missing 5th C. I normally have this slide. I don't know why I didn't put this slide in. So there's your 5 C's here, and this is almost, you know, like the order in which our brain works. So critical thinking, that's the ability to say something is wrong in the world. Change mindset, that's the one that we're missing. Change mindset is the ability to embrace change. Remember, that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part, to admit to yourself that I need to change. You know, people who come up to me and say, I'm terrified of technology, I'm terrified of what's happening. But my point to them, I always say to them, you are not scared of technology. You are scared of changing to adapt to that technology because you don't have a change mindset. Remember that. We are not scared of the technology, we are scared of the change. And human beings, by our very nature, we didn't like change, right? So there's the change mindset. Now, once you have a change mindset, then you'll be able to solve problems of the future, complex problems of this future. And those that solve the problems are the ones that make all the money, right? Like Elon Musk said, you are paid in accordance to the size of the problems you solve. You solve a bigger problem, you get more money. You solve a small problem, you get paid less. And then to solve problems, we need creativity. We need the ability to bring in different domains of knowledge, put it together and create solutions. And of course, communication. And communication doesn't just mean one-on-one. It means things like the ability to stand and sell your idea to others, to sell your products. I know, I mean, I sit in, I know I'm talking too much now, we need to end this. I sit in lots of, you know, these pitch meetings where I'm a judge, where people are pitching to us their businesses. And I see people with brilliant ideas, but zero communication skills. And they shoot themselves in the foot because they can't sell that idea. But because I have a view for good ideas, I help them to bring it out. And I regret that they're not taught these skills at schools. They're not taught how to stand and present your product or sell your item or put out a social media post that goes viral. They don't have all that those skills. Okay, Dineo, shall we take a couple more questions or do we wrap up?
If we can wrap up, because I see time is no longer on our side. I'm not sure if there's any other important points that you'd like to share. I saw another question on someone asking, when do they need to register? How do they sign up?
Follow the link in the comments, chat.openai.com, and follow the instructions. You just need an email address and that's it. Cool. So guys, thank you very much. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you. I hope you are leaving from here inspired. I hope you have learned something. And most important, I hope you guys are going to go and become content creators and join the global $100 billion potentially creator economy. And I hope you guys succeed. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dineo, and Youth at Work for this opportunity. And anytime you guys need me, I am at your service.
Oh, thank you so much, Bilal. I think this session wouldn't be possible without you. You did our Think Tech last year. And also, I think everyone else really has gotten the importance of really using AI and instilling it on their daily lives. So I would also like to thank you for your time, just giving us and gracing us with your time. I know you are a very busy man, but I would really like to thank you. And it was really an honor of having you in being our guest speaker. Thank you so much, Bilal.
It's a pleasure. And I've just put up my contact details on social media. As you guys can see, I think they forgot the TikTok one, but LinkedIn, Instagram, everywhere. On TikTok, I'm Bilal Kads with a Z at the end. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Bye.
Thank you, Bilal. Okay, everyone else, please make sure that you've completed the attendance register. I've shared the link on the chat. And also, if there's anything, please do get in contact with us. You can send us an email to info@sathurek.com. So I'll also be sharing the recording with everyone else via email. All right, so please do be on the look for that. All right, so if there's anything else, please do let us know. And thank you so much for taking time and attending this session. Thank you so much, guys, and bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.